Never do this to a Gemini. If you think you can push a Gemini too far, think again. They may appear easygoing, but their curiosity and patience have limits. Gemini is the ever-changing wind of the zodiac. Curious, witty, and endlessly adaptable, they are the social butterflies, communicators, and thinkers of the astrological world. Their energy is magnetic, their ideas are fast, and their presence can light up a room in an instant. But don't mistake their charm and flexibility for weakness. Beneath their playful exterior lies a mind that observes, analyzes, and evaluates everything around them, and an emotional depth that isn't always immediately visible. A Gemini may forgive occasional missteps or misunderstandings, but repeated neglect, dishonesty, or restriction can awaken a side of them that is distant, skeptical, and hard to reach. Their reactions may not always be explosive, but they are precise, deliberate, and often long-lasting. To navigate life successfully with a Gemini, you must understand their values, their need for intellectual freedom, and the qualities they hold dear in relationships and friendships. Here are 10 things you should never say or do to a Gemini. Ignoring these boundaries risks losing their trust, connection, or even their attention entirely. 1. Stop overthinking everything. Gemini lives in their mind. They process, analyze, and explore every angle of a situation. It's how they make sense of the world. Telling them to stop overthinking invalidates their way of engaging with life and can make them feel unheard. Instead of dismissing their thought process, engage with it. Ask questions, explore ideas with them, and respect their perspective. They respond to curiosity and validation, not impatience. 2. Why are you so indecisive? Decision-making can be challenging for Gemini because they see multiple sides to every issue. What appears as indecision is actually thoughtfulness and consideration. Criticizing them for it can create frustration and defensiveness. Rather than pressuring them, provide information, options, and support. Give them space to process without judgment. It encourages confidence rather than resentment. 3. You're too flighty. Gemini thrives on novelty, change, and exploration. Their interests may shift quickly, and their attention may wander. Calling them flighty or labeling them as unreliable attacks a core part of their nature. Instead, embrace their versatility. Recognize that their curiosity and adaptability are strengths, not flaws. They value partners and friends who appreciate their evolving interests rather than trying to pin them down. 4. Why are you so social? Gemini is energized by connection, conversation, and social engagement. Limiting their social freedom or criticizing their outgoing nature is a quick way to push them away. They need relationships that balance closeness with space. Trust is crucial. If you doubt their social choices or attempt to control their interactions, Gemini will retreat mentally and emotionally. 5. You don't take anything seriously. People often mistake Gemini's playful nature for irresponsibility. In reality, they are capable of deep focus and commitment, but they approach life with a light, adaptable touch. Dismissing their humor, curiosity, or enthusiasm can make them feel unappreciated. Recognize their approach as a blend of intellect, creativity, and flexibility. Gemini respects acknowledgement over criticism. 6. Stop changing your mind. Gemini's flexibility allows them to see multiple perspectives, but it can also make them appear inconsistent. Criticizing them for flip-flopping misunderstands their reflective nature. They don't change opinions lightly, they consider, adapt, and grow as they acquire new information. Supportive discussion and curiosity work better than judgment. 7. Betraying their trust. Trust is fragile for Gemini. They are open, communicative, and quick to connect, but betrayal, whether through lies, manipulation, or broken promises, hurts deeply. A Gemini may forgive a single lapse, but repeated breaches erode their willingness to engage. Once their trust is lost, re-establishing it requires time, transparency, and consistent effort. Ignoring this is a sure way to push them away permanently. 8. Why are you so restless? Gemini thrives on stimulation, novelty, and mental activity. Expecting them to remain still, quiet, or consistently focused on one thing is unrealistic. Attempting to restrict their movement, curiosity, or energy can feel suffocating. Encourage exploration, support their interests, and provide freedom. This is how they feel valued and understood. 9. Ignoring their need for conversation. Communication is the lifeblood of Gemini. They process emotions, ideas, and conflicts through dialogue. Ignoring their attempts to talk, dismissing their ideas, or cutting off conversations makes them feel unseen. If you want to maintain a strong connection, engage with their questions, listen actively, and respect their verbal processing. They bond through communication, and silence or avoidance can quickly create distance. 10. Underestimating their intelligence. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the planet of intellect and communication. They pride themselves on mental agility, quick thinking, and adaptability. Dismissing them as superficial or underestimating their capabilities is insulting. Recognize their intellect and curiosity. A Gemini who feels respected and mentally stimulated will invest fully in relationships, work, and friendship. Undervalue their mind, and you risk losing their enthusiasm and engagement. Gemini is the wind of the zodiac, lively, adaptable, and endlessly fascinating. They bring humor, perspective, energy, and intellectual stimulation to every interaction. But their lightness and charm should never be mistaken for weakness. They need respect, trust, and mental freedom to flourish. To keep a Gemini close, honor their curiosity, give them space to grow, communicate openly, and respect their ever-changing nature. Misjudge their intellect, restrict their social life, or dismiss their complexity, and you'll find they've quietly moved on. A Gemini relationship is rewarding because it's dynamic, engaging, and full of life. If you approach them with understanding, respect, and curiosity, they will share their world with you fully, a world that is vibrant, expansive, and endlessly fascinating. Remember, push a Gemini too far, and you may never see the same energy return. Their freedom is as important to them as air itself.